Namaskar and welcome to Changemakers. I'm Shubhendu Ghosh. Good roads and efficient transport are key to public convenience, safety and progress. They literally pave the way towards growth and development of the nation. Today, let's talk about innovations in mobility. Indian economy is on the rise. Infrastructure development, road construction is taking place at a rate not seen in decades. Such mega development boosts connectivity and ease of living, but many common yet serious challenges remain. Challenges that we all face in our everyday life: potholes, broken roads, rash driving. Did you know India records nearly 150,000 deaths annually in road accidents? What we need are innovations that can help us harness the true potential of expanding infrastructure. Our innovators are using cutting-edge technology like artificial intelligence, machine learning to efficiently track and report road conditions. They are working towards creation of smart autonomous vehicles which significantly eliminate the scope of human error. Here's how. India's fast-paced infrastructure growth is powering its economy. Multimodal connectivity is taking shape. Indian innovators are capitalizing on this growth opportunity. They are providing innovative solutions to mobility issues of the present and defining how we will travel in the future. Our first changemaker is Road Metrics from Bengaluru, founded by Dipen Babaria and Nikhil Prasad Maroli in 2019. Road Metrics provides AI-based road condition assessments that uses road video data from a smartphone. Municipal councils and infrastructure firms can expect to save up to 30% in road maintenance costs using Road Metrics solution for data-driven road maintenance planning as opposed to manual inspections. Road Metrics Enterprise dashboard helps visualize an entire road network with a bird's eye view and use smartphones to identify over 10 types of road defects and 65 types of road and street level features. The road assessment tool helps locate and track road surface cracks and major potholes, thereby guiding public works authorities in prioritizing maintenance action plans and performing budget allocations using Road Metrics Enterprise platform. The MASK RCNN object detection machine learning models are able to classify them into 3 levels based on severity and size, that is minor, moderate and severe. It also allows the team to get an approximate idea of the dimensions of the road defect given an accuracy rate of 95%. Our next changemaker is -0 from Bengaluru, founded by Gagandeep Rihal and Gursimran Kalra in 2021. -0 is India's first startup that is building fully autonomous vehicles. -0 is building its proprietary nature-inspired AI that focuses on developing a highly intuitive and human-like AI system which does not rely on any expensive 3D sensors like LiDARs or high compute systems or high-fidelity maps. With its advanced artificial intelligence system that operates solely based on camera sensors, the smart vehicles can easily adapt their learning abilities to unprecedented traffic scenarios. -0 are headed towards making driverless vehicles not only 10 times affordable but also a reality much sooner. The team has successfully tested a fully driverless prototype on unregulated public roads, becoming the first Indian company to achieve the feat. -0 is set to launch India's smartest vehicle, a vehicle that is fully autonomous, doesn't have any place for driver to sit or a steering wheel to control. The company initially aims to target in-campus mobility use cases such as university campuses, corporate parks, residential societies, airports, and other similar environments. What unique innovations in action? Let's now meet our changemakers, learn more about their work and vision. Let me welcome Dipen Babaria, co-founder and CEO, Road Metrics, and Gagandeep Prihal, co-founder and CEO, Minus Zero. We saw your amazing innovations. Welcome to Changemakers. Now, your enterprises make use of cutting-edge technology like artificial intelligence, machine learning. For such innovations, enterprises to evolve and succeed, one requires a certain supportive ecosystem. What is your assessment of the manner in which this ecosystem has evolved in India?
Yeah, of course. So India's ecosystem for cutting edge technologies such as AI and machine learning have been evolving rapidly in recent years. There have been a surge in numbers of startup and companies that are using AI and machine learning to solve traditional problems in various industries such as infrastructure, healthcare, finance, agriculture. Also the Indian government has also taken a several initiative to support the growth of the AI and machine learning ecosystem. The National AI Strategy aims to make the India a global leader in AI research and development. And then the national program on AI has been also launched to support the startup research institute and also universities to develop the innovative solutions using AI. On the business side, it might take some time for the customers to adapt the AI system, transitioning from the traditional system, but it is improving, as we say, starting from a private sector who can take the risk on trying the innovative solution to the government sector who have to be more stable in trying and testing the solution extensively before deploying it at a city, state, or national level.
I think it's definitely, kind of a different, I would say, situation for us at Minus Zero. Because when we talk about autonomous vehicles in general, it's not just an AI problem statement. It's quite interdisciplinary. Whether it's you take automotive, robotics, and all into one picture, right? And I think that's where we were first movers in this space in India because people always believe that particularly AVs are still far, far away. They still do not see them coming out very rapidly in countries like US. Maybe in India, it's still decades away. And that's where, there was absolute absence of ecosystem when we started. So, being a first mover came with their own set of challenges that the responsibility of us was not only to build the tech or the product, but also start driving that innovation, basically ecosystem in this direction. Like on AI side, though, we had started earlier as a country for any AI-enabled technologies, but whenever we're talking about any kind of AI use case, which is very, very safety critical, I think that's where this was a big challenge. And there are a lot of ecosystem problems that we have solved up until now that includes, whether it's simplest act starting from having sensors that are built in India, not really importing them from outside, or even these technologies of these EVs and all. So yeah, I think we have started out, the country has started out in the right direction, but there is still a very, very long way that we have to go. And I believe, there still we all need a lot of other, I would say, entrepreneurs and all the stakeholders that are into this picture to kind of push it way, way quicker. We saw how with space tech, though we were very late to start, but the way we progressed rapidly, I would say that was unmatched in the industry. I think that is needed in this part also. We have been quite late with respect to the entire globe, but we have capability to make it, do it at a much quicker pace. I think it's time we all join hands together.
Right, those are interesting insights. Now let's talk about your individual enterprises. Let's first talk about Road Metrics. Dipen, I'll come to you. Now, your enterprise is simplifying the application of an advanced technology to help solve a common problem, potholes, maintenance of roads, something that we all have faced as a challenge. How did you think of coming up with this innovation?
Yeah, so the idea of leveraging the technology in solving one of the most pressing and annoying issue in the country got us 3 years ago when me and my co-founder was navigating to one of our friends' place using Google Map. Although Google Map suggested us an alternative time-saving shortcut route, but it took us twice the time owning to the bad road condition and inaccurate road information. at that time, and this was happening as one of the metro cities. So at that time, we thought if this is one of the major issue of India since so many years. So there not present any data or a system which allows us or which shows us the road characteristic data. At that time, we decided to start researching on it and created a system that detects all kind of road information from a road condition, road signs, road assets from a simple smartphone, because we wanted the system to be the much more affordable and plus the convertible also. So that's how we came up with the system. We moved to Bangalore. We did some of the trial with infrastructure companies, municipalities, private cities also. We are trying to solve the road condition data from at core level, like potholes. I mean, potholes are not just a nuisance, but takes a thousands of life every year. So why not do the preventive maintenance rather than the reactive maintenance of the road infrastructure? So that's how we came up with the solution, and we've been trying to do that ever since.
That's interesting. Dipen, now give us some more insights into how does road metrics work? How do you go around mapping roads? And is it context agnostic in the sense that can you apply this technology in urban areas as well as rural areas?
Yeah, so the solution is simple. We just have to mount the smartphone on the car's windshield and start road metrics data collection application and start driving. It will record the video data as well as the sensor data of the vibration. So this data is then uploaded to our server when our AI algorithm, which is trained over 2 million image point of the road condition from various part of the country, process those data and detect minor details of those data from a road condition, small crack, alligator crack, raveling, potholes, and then we map those data into our web GIS platform. Then this platform is being used by the infrastructure companies, municipalities, city councils to do the prioritized maintenance, to do the data-driven maintenance planning of the entire city for the city planning. At the same time, this data can be used in the navigation application for the user to navigate from one point to another with a more comfortable route. So this is how the entire solution works. It's been working on the both urban and rural areas. We have also mapped some of the villages in the Assam and the Bihar state. And there, I think application might be different, but the data-driven, using the road maintenance planning, using the data is always creating a big impact. They've been using it to save around 30% of the road maintenance budget to detect the defect at the early stage rather than to repair the pothole. So yeah, it's been working on urban as well as rural areas both.
Right, Dipen, now your enterprise road metrics is a classic example of make in India, make for the world. As we speak, you and your team are in London for an assignment. How has been the response abroad for an enterprise that was born in India?
Yeah, so the feedback and the response have been tremendous good. So for any country, I think the progress of country directly depend on how the road infrastructure of that country is. So that's why all the currently different nations been also trying to solve that problem. So here we've been working with the City of London, Newham Borough, Leicestershire City Councils, and we are trying to change the perception from the reactive maintenance to the preventive maintenance. In more developed countries, they are more biased towards the preventive maintenance. They want the pothole-free city. So at the early stage to detect that patterns of the pothole. So we are doing this here at the early stage to detect the patterns of that pothole and able to report that to the city council, so they can make the decision at the early stage. At the same time, they can save the taxpayers money to do the road maintenance. So I think London, which is I think a face of the tourism right now. So they wanted to be too much of the aggressive on the road maintenance. They want zero pothole city. So for that purpose, they were connected with us, and we've been working with them.
Right, Dipen, it's great to learn about the story of road metrics. Now let's talk about minus zero. Gagandeep, your turn. Now, Indian roads can be a challenge for best of drivers. We've heard about driverless technology, driverless vehicles, but imagining them on Indian roads is quite difficult. How did you think of making one?
Definitely, there is a very interesting angle to it. I would say it was an overlap of three things that came together. Initially, my background was more towards like AI and robotics and all. The purpose was how we can kind of achieve the human level of understanding or intelligence on the computer. Because right now, I would say we have this utopian dream of AGI, artificial general intelligence, that mimics a human brain. But as an industry, we are still very, very far away from that. And I think that was how this journey started. But over the course of time, they often say, right, when you face certain problem, you try to find those solutions, and if they do not exist, if you wanted, you start building them yourselves. So I think that's where there were two metrics that came into picture. Like Dipen said, mobility is just not about traveling from one place to another, right? It's not about you want to go to your work or something. Mobility is a very integral part of any country's economy. Whether it's logistics, whether it's uh, moving people or something, or delivery. And no matter if we are doing air mobility and all, still for any country out there, even for the developed countries, that road mobility is a very crucial factor. This initially started with whether you're in Delhi, Bangalore, you have this encounter. You get frustrated getting stuck in traffic, right? 90% of the accidents that happen on the road happen due to human error, right? That is a very major pain point. And this is what started out, those accidents and traffic congestion problem. And then you realize that, okay, you have your car. How many hours of the day you are driving that car? Maybe half an hour, 1 hour, 2 hour. That vehicle is sitting idle for a lot of maybe 90% of the day when it could be utilized. And now you imagine this problem of when you talk about congestion. We have too many vehicles which are being underutilized. And that is leading to this congestion. And slowly when you start going deeper, we even got to understand whether it's supply chain and all. Mobility impacts a lot of industries, not just taxis or something. Every industry is impacted. I think that's when you realize that, okay, there's an overlap, that okay, you need to make these experience of mobility for people and also for businesses more efficient, more economical, and more safer. And that's when this focus went entirely into autonomous vehicles. We both started, me and my co-founder started 1 year back. And the purpose was, if we had seen the great American dreams, which had billions of dollars to spend on R&D, their single product maybe costed way beyond what an average business even could afford, And you realize that 90% of the world is not US and UK, it's all these other countries, which has, let's accept it, which has comparatively poor infrastructure, right? And also, they do need that. The world is, that is where the problems are actually, that inefficiencies are there. So that's when we both started 1.5 years back, and it has been an interesting journey. So the goal was always to make sure this technology has to be democratized. Unless you are able to cater to the masses, unless you can impact everyone, even a small person who has maybe some access to mobility, he's impacted by that. That's where you really bring a global change.
Right.
That was the purpose.
That's interesting, Gagandeep, but I'm curious to learn about what happens to the human aspect of mobility. In the future, if driverless vehicle become a norm, how will it transform the manner in which our societies, our people travel?
See, the first part is definitely we are talking about a very efficient way, right? The amount of time that we are wasting on roads, and whether you see very simple pain points. Is not every Indian worried or frustrated with these congestion problems? You know, do you like traffic? Right? You might love driving, but you do not want to just get stuck in that hall, maybe, that traffic light or something, waiting for getting frustrated when you're tired from the day, right? See, there are a lot of things, there are lot of pain points that are affecting each and every one of us. But there's for these solutions, we cannot do anything on an individual level. You can't say, okay, I'll stop driving the car. That is not the solution. You have to solve these pain points, right? Because, like I said, mobility is a very crucial factor. So I think if how it is going to be different is it is going to be making our lives way more, it's an experience which is going to make our lives, both businesses and consumers, more efficient, and more much safer. I think we'll be able to utilize our creative minds in much more efficient ways rather than just trying to escape through these metro traffics.
Right. Gagan, I understand that an innovation as transformative as a driverless vehicle would require large scale testing, a lot of safety protocols that you will have to adhere to, a lot of legal clearances that you need. In this journey of creating a driverless vehicle, what has been the experience like? Any interesting insight that you'd like to share with us?
No, so I think in that case, the very catch is, just you keep on testing more and more number of miles and all, making sure, trying to capture all those uncertainties that happen on Indian roads. Very simplest act of that, you are driving, suddenly a dog might come immediately in between the road and you have to react very, very quickly. That's why your algorithms have to be fast, robust and all. A simplest act of, okay, there is an ice cream truck which is in the shape of an ice cream. Your AI shouldn't identify it as an ice cream. It should know it is a vehicle, and you have to be aware of that. So yeah, I think that has been the case, that the way we have been trying, but definitely there is always this issue of that regulatory uncertainties, and I think that is where it's not about it's about lack of action. There is no regulations in place to I would say kind of those metrics, how do you define that safety? So that's why even in our case, we have to take a lot of ideas from West, whether it was Europe's NCAP standard or the standards defined by, US and maybe countries like Singapore, Japan. We take a lot of ideas from them, making sure we try to comply with all those, because in the end, we are building a product for the world, right? The technology is not restricted for India. But yeah, I think this lack of that regulations is still a thing that we have to tweak our way around. But yeah, let's see how that goes.
Right, it's amazing to learn about the work that you're doing at Minus Zero, Gagandeep. And as we come towards the close of this special conversation, I'd like to learn from both of you. How do you see the road ahead for the mobility sector in India, in the country, and the opportunities and challenges that lie ahead for entrepreneurs in this sector?
Yeah, so I think road ahead would be, in the terms of the mobility, if I say, would be the best future would be connected mobility. In connected mobility, there are various aspects: vehicle to vehicle connection, V2V, vehicle to infrastructure connection, V2I, vehicle to cloud connection. So once we are able to achieve this connected mobility, I think the future would be great on that. Some of the challenges that we are facing right now. I mean, the India being the very different environment than the rest of the world. So deploying the solution in such a vast environment with so much uncertainty. So we have to be tested extensively before deploying it, any solution. So that is one of the challenges that I think we could be facing. It could take some time to work with the regulations, work with the compliances also to make an amend that.
Right. And Gagan, your thoughts, opportunities and challenges, you did list some, but your thoughts for entrepreneurs in this sector.
Right. So, I think whenever you are solving a problem that maybe, let's say, whenever you're first mover in any domain, we saw those first movers coming in space tech, those first movers coming in EVs, coming in drones, and now, even mobility. I think they all have these similar overlap of challenges, and that's what we started our conversation with, having that right ecosystem. I think that is where I do not say it would be a problem for entrepreneurs, but it's more about the how quickly we can do that. You know, entrepreneurs in India and even any kind of talent in India, I think that is way more capable than any country out there. It's about you want to do that in 1 year or 10 years. I think that is where the we saw the example, the capabilities of India, the way it did. You know, just you look 2 years back with space tech, private space tech, there was no clarity on that ecosystem, whether it was regulation, whether it was the entrepreneurs, or it was, you know, any enabling technologies. There was no clarity. You know, we were way late than these other countries. But the way we progress, you know, within span of 1 year, what the country has achieved, I think that is commendable. So definitely one thing is clear, it's not about the capabilities of India. And you know, I think that mobility, initially we saw that with EVs, that also happened way good. Now it's this AI or connected mobility, you know, digitally enabled infrastructure mobility, you know, that is, I think, coming in that same cycle. Again, I would say same thing, we are capable. Let's not wait. It's time, you know, since we are capable, let's not wait for maybe right time or something. Let's fuel that very quickly, all stakeholders coming together so that, you know, we can leave a lot of other countries behind.
On that note, thank you very much, Gagandeep, Dipen, for joining us on Changemakers, sharing your stories. Our best wishes to your teams. It was great interacting with our Changemakers. Their work gives us a glimpse into how technology and science are transforming public mobility in the present and how it will be shaped in the future. Whatever may be the degree of automation, there will always be need for the human angle, a human intent, a change maker. I will take your leave for now. Namaskar.